Hey, Comets, welcome to Friday. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope it's been a good week. So I'm going to wrap up things for this first week of the packet, the March 30th packet. I'm going to do that review page. I would highly recommend that you do the page first, then watch this video, or only watch the video for the parts that you need help. That way you can try doing them all and then checking it using the video. Because I'm basically going to give you the answers. So here we go. All right, first question on the review page asks, school participates in a reading contest. The table shows each 6th grade class's portion of the grade's total reading minutes. Order the classes from greatest number of reading minutes to the least. So I'm going to write that up here so we don't forget. We want greatest to the least. All right, so we need to look at this chart and figure out where is the biggest fraction. Okay, so I'm going to write these fractions out here. We have 5/12, we have 1/18, we have 4/9, and we've got 1/12. Okay, so let's look at those fractions real quick. All right. If we can do several strategies here, okay? We could convert these to decimals if we wanted to. Okay, if we had a calculator, which we probably do, that would be a quick way to check, and then we just compare the decimals. We could find a common denominator for each one of these, but that's going to be pretty big and pretty tricky, okay? But it would be a surest way of doing it. All right, I like benchmark fractions at least to get us started. Okay, remember benchmark fractions are either a 1, 1/2, or a 0. Okay, ones are going to be close to each other, the numerator and the denominator. 1/2 is the numerator is about half of the denominator, and for 0, the numerator is going to be pretty small compared to the denominator. So let's look at ones. Anything that looks pretty close here. I'm not seeing anything, okay? But I see several that look like 1/2. Okay, that one, 5 is about half of 12. All right, so I would say that's close to a 1/2 in the world of benchmark fractions. Okay, and then same thing here. 4/9 is about 1/2. And then these are going to be close to our 0 benchmark percents because 1 is really small compared to 18 and 1 is really small compared to 12. All right, now that just gets us started because again, we're trying to find the greatest number. Well, obviously it's not going to be this one and it's not going to be this one, okay, because they are a lot smaller than these other two. So what we need to do is figure out which one of these is the biggest of these two. Okay? Well, let's see. Is this more or less than a half? Okay, well, it's less than, right? Is this more or less than 1/2? It's less. So let's see. I'm thinking as I go. This is 1/2 or 1/12 less than 1/2. And this is no, actually it's only 0.5 less than 0.5/9 less than 1/2. Still not crystal clear. Let's go to the calculator. Let's find out. All right? So let's find the calculator. Let's take 5 divided by 12, and I get 0.417. I'm going to round that to a 7. Okay? And then I'm going to do 4 divided by 9. And that is 0.44 repeated. So which one's bigger? Okay, 0.4. Let me change to the screen here. So which one's bigger? If I have 0.44444 or 0.417, which one's bigger? I'm going to go with this one. Okay, so my 4/9 is my biggest fraction. All right, then I know that my 5/12 is going to be my next biggest. Okay, so that takes care of these two. Now I'm just left with these two. Now which one's going to be bigger? If I have 1/12 of a pizza or 1/18 of a pizza? 1/12 is going to be a bigger slice. Okay, so I'm going to put 1/12 right here, and then that means 1/18 is my smallest. Now, if I go back to my problem, I know that my 4/9 was Miss Suarez, and then I can go from there. Okay, but the main thing is writing the fractions. All right, let's go to the next problem. Order the fractions 3/7, 4/5, 5/9, and 1/8 from least to greatest. Now this one's going to be least to greatest. All right, so we're going to erase and completely switch this, because now we want the least on this side and the greatest over here. All right. So we've got our numbers. Let's do the same thing we did last time. 3/7, 4/5, 5/9, and 1/8. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. Benchmark fractions. All right. So this one's pretty close to a 1/2. This one's probably closest to 1. This one's close to 1/2. And this is closest to 0. So our smallest fraction we can already see is going to be 1/8. And then it's between these two to see which one's bigger. All right? So let's see. 3/7 is actually less than 1/2. 5/9 is actually more than 1/2. All right? So that tells me 3/7 is my next fraction. And then that's going to mean that 5/9 is next. And then 4/5 is my biggest fraction. And again, that was all using benchmark fractions. Okay? All right, back to our worksheet. We've got this problem on area. An artist is weaving a rectangular rug to match the pattern shown in the figure. Calculate the area of the entire rug. All right, well, looks like a composite figure to me. We got to find out the area of this red section, the area of the gray, the other area of the gray, and the area of the yellow. All right, so let's get to work. I like drawing these things out. That way I can put information into my drawing. Okay, plus I feel a little bit like Bob Ross. A happy little tree. Okay, so I know that this is 5 feet, and this is 6 feet, and this is 3 feet. I didn't quite draw it to scale, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll be okay. And I think that's all I need. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to enlarge my drawing, and then we're going to put some numbers to this. Okay, so this whole thing right over here, could we figure out what the length of this side is? Okay, I would say yes, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we add all these together. So that is a 5-foot height to this rug, so to speak. So if I want to find the area of this red section, it's going to be 5 times 5, which is 25 feet squared. Okay? Then the area of this rectangle is going to be 6 times 1, which is 6 feet squared. Same thing with this one, 6 feet squared. And then this is going to be 6 times 3, which is 18 feet squared. Okay, now to find the total area, I need to add them all together. Okay, because total means add. All right, so I've got 25 plus 6 plus 18 plus 6. All right, let's see here. Working on my adding skills. We've got 12 plus 8 would be 20. Another 5 is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 55 feet squared. And just to make sure, I am going to pull up my calculator. And these together. 25 plus 6, because I don't want to lead you guys astray. Plus 6. Whoops, that didn't work. Let's try that again. 25 plus 6 plus 18 plus 6. It is 55. Yeah, so we were right. Good deal. All right. So 55 is our answer on that one. Now, the last question, number 4. You are making a kite out of nylon fabric. Study the diagram. How much nylon fabric would you need to make this kite? Well, no surprise, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw my shape. And this time, basically looking like a bunch of triangles. So, looks like that. Okay. So this line right here is 12 inches. This whole thing here is 24 inches. And this whole thing from here to here is 36 inches. Okay? So let's take a deeper look at this. We could look at it as several triangles here, right? I know that this is 12 inches here, and this is 24 inches. Okay? So I could find the area of this triangle right here, because I know that the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay? So my base is going to be this 24 inches. So my area of this top triangle is 1/2 of my base, 24, times my height, which is 12. And then I could figure that out to be 24 times 12, and I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get 144 inches squared. Okay? So that's the area of this triangle. Now what about this triangle down here? Okay? Well, I know the base is still 24. So 1/2 of 24 times my height. Okay, well, what's my height going to be this time? Well, let's take a look at it. My height now is going to be, well, it's not 36, right? Because the whole thing is 36. But if I take 36 and I take away this 12, I should have the height of this bottom triangle. All right? So let's do that real quick. I should be able to do that in my head, but for some reason on this Friday morning, I'm not trusting my brain. Okay, so 36 minus 12 is 24. Okay? So then I need to take that 24 and multiply it by 24. Okay, so we have our base and our height is the same, actually. That's interesting. All right, so we're going to do 24 times 24 and then divide it in half. All right? If you can see what I'm doing there. So 24 times 24 divided in half. So let's take a look at that on a calculator. Oops. All right, 24 times, nope, delete, 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 delete. Let me try that again. Yay, 24 times 24, then divide that by 2, and we get 288 inches squared. All right. Then we're going to need to add those two together. So I have 288 plus 144, and I get 432 inches squared for my final answer. Okay, so again, let's review in case you couldn't see it. I found the area of this top triangle here. So the area of this top triangle is 144 inches squared. And then the area of this bottom triangle is 288. But I went the whole thing. The total means add them together. So I add these two numbers together, and I got 432 inches squared. It's squared because it's area. And we're done. Done with our first week of the packet. So thank you guys for your work on this. Again, I know it's review, but man, this review is really important. All right? So keep up the good work, and I will see you next time. Bye.